last week, with the not last week, I guess the week before, with the whole Bigfoot and New York State thing. Um,
Mm.
I wanted to call in and give you guys some information, but I kept, getting distracted because you guys start as soon as I get to work, and but thankfully it's a slow night at work, so I can call
Hey
in.
man, what are your
You
priorities? Is it
guys,
work? Is it work or our
Work
show? My
work can
goodness.
be fairly distracting, I gotta tell you.
No, I get it. I get it.
yeah,
I get it, dude. Uh,
night shift, man.
no,
But
yeah, I know those. But tell
I know you
us.
guys like scientific information, so I found a few things on Bigfoot that kind of gives a little bit of credence to either Bigfoot or a Bigfoot-like creature
All
being
right.
somewhere in North America.
Finally,
Um,
let's have it.
First off, I would point you guys towards Jeff Meldrum. He's a doctor of anthropology at Idaho University.
Okay.
He has studied these casts that are taken of footprints, and he's I don't know how many he studied. It's not like I'm a student of his, but he has studied them throughout the years, and he has noticed that the dermal ridges that are on these casts are different from both human feet and great apes. And so, because like dermal ridges are like fingerprints on your foot,
Mm-hmm.
and so like each toe has its own imprint. Um, and for a hoaxer to think of something like that in the 50s and 60s would be pretty awesome. It'd be really amazing for them to think of something like that. Obviously it's possible, but it's just something to think about. And he also his specialty in anthropology is primate movement and anatomy. And so when he did a viewing of the Patterson Gimlin film, he noticed that the subject of the film, like how it walked, was not how a man would walk, and not really how an ape would walk. Like there's something in between. But he does notice like it veers more towards the great ape like movements with the foot, and how like the legs are put down.
Hmm.
And along with those casts, he noticed that there is, I don't remember the scientific name for it, sorry. He noticed that there's an impression in the middle of the foot. So, how humans walk, we walk heel to toe. So, you see the deeper parts on the hill when we first step down, and when we put our weight down on the ball of the foot, not really where our arches are. Whereas primates, how they walk and how their bone structures are, it goes in the middle of the foot. So, like, there's an imprint there in the center of the foot, whether than the ball of the foot or the heel. Um, and he has noticed that in some of these prints from Asia and North America that he has studied. But getting off Dr. Meldrum, there is a DNA study by a Dr. Melba Ketchum, um, that was done, that were kind of like the hairs that are found, and how they're like, oh yeah, we studied this hair, but we can't identify what it is. They took some of those hair samples and did DNA studies on them. And they did blind studies on a few different universities, and they came back like, yeah, no, we don't have any of this in our records. What is it? And whenever Dr. Ketchum had said, hey, we are trying to see if there's a great ape in North America, that's when like the peer reviews and the uh, articles and such kind of like shut her out. Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
we're not publishing anything about Bigfoot. Obviously, you're all crazy. Um, so she made her own magazine, kind of, to publish her findings, and so she gets a lot of backlash from the scientific community that she published her own findings through her own magazine. So it's kind of seen as you're not really having a third party check your work, even though she did have some peer reviews and blind tests done on that information.
I think peer reviews
Um,
these days have been totally bastardized. You know, I
oh, for
mean,
sure. I
uh,
think I think you can pay somebody off like, oh yeah, just
yeah,
say what I say.
yeah.
I mean, I
It's
work in the
so
medical field.
okay. So
I
it's
work
like
in
it's very incestuous.
Yeah, I work in pathology specifically, and
Okay.
that's kind of why I'm here at night in the
Mm.
lab. I but I mean, I've seen doctors like, hey, I think it's this type of cancer. Do you agree? Not even kind of like letting them really look at the tissue or look at their findings. Just like, this is what I think it is.
Hmm.
And the doctor's like, yeah, sure, that's what it is, and so that's what the diagnosis is. I mean,
That's
obviously, for the
crazy.
most part, they can tell like what type of cancer it is, whether it's squamous cell, basal cell, melanoma, stuff like that.
Do
But I
do
can
you, real quick?
definitely understand when it comes to researching. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick before we go back to the Bigfoot thing. Do you think AI is gonna start taking a lot of those jobs away? Like if you,
I work with AI right
so
now,
so how's that
actually.
work? How's that work? And do you think you're gonna lose your job to it, or
Um,
is it a collaboration?
so how our AI works now is, do you remember in science class, whenever you looked at slides under a microscope and like, hey, this is what a plant cell looks like, this is what human cells look like, stuff
Hmm.
like that.
Yep.
That's what I do for a living. So they send me tissue samples of patients with, what suspected cancers or fungus and such, and I cut it up and I put it on put it on glass slides and stain it. And the doctors can see the individual cells and the cell morphology to kind of tell what it is. Um, and so normally what we do is we give all those glass slides to a doctor, and they'd have to take the slides and put it in a microscope and look. Where now they have what's called digital pathology. You put it on a big scanner, and the scanner takes pictures of the slide. And I mean, it looks just like a microscope.
Hmm.
Like I like reviewing these slides. It's amazing. But we have an AI technology that detects tumors, and so it flags these uh, certain slides, and then a doctor has to go in and approve if it's detected or not, because they're still kind of learning. Um, and I don't think it'll replace the technical portion of the job where I am.
Hmm.
I think doctors could be replaced if um, if they don't, given enough time of the AI learning, and that's kind of scary.
Yeah, because the medical field and the use of AI, I can see that being a beneficial collaboration. Um, I don't might not agree with some of the outcomes that the AI is making if it's going to be these like 48-hour designer vaccines that will
For
cure
sure.
something. 'Cause I'm just like, I wasn't going to take something they made in 6 months. I'm not going to, or 3 months. I'm not going to take something that was made in 2 days and just be like, oh,
Absolutely not.
thanks. But like, I can see that it can be very helpful in a collaboration sense in the medical field. Yeah, I was just curious about that, but that's a very interesting job, and that's wild. Late nights in the pathology lab. Uh, but
I
where were
absolutely
we?
love it.
We were talking about Bigfoot and Melba and her magazine, and I don't know if you had something else to add to that or not before I derailed that.
No, not really. I had found some scientists who disagree with the narrative, and so they've been ostracized. So I wanted to point them out to you guys.
Cool. What do you
Um,
think about Bigfoot?
I think there is something out there. I have never had any experience, and I
Mm-hmm.
kind of don't want one, because I think if something that has been has been out of the public eye for that long,
Mm-hmm.
either the government is protecting them or they are killing people,
Or they're what? Oh, you cut
uh,
out.
or they're killing people whenever they find them.
Ooh, interesting.
I think if he's
So
real, he's definitely under protection. They got him somewhere dressed in human clothes. He's doing commercials for Jack Links.
definitely, I've
Yeah,
seen I've seen videos of him.
yeah.
He's out there like drinking and partying with people. I've seen him.
Oh
He's playing
man.
a saxophone too. I don't know
Oh,
if you guys have seen that. He's
I
great
haven't
at
seen
it.
that one, but I bet he's a Renaissance man, Renaissance Sasquatch.
Maybe.
I could see him working at a bank. Like super low key, nice clothes.
He just
Hell
wants to
yeah.
be in the woods. But imagine all the rage inside of you. And do you think he's happy in that kind
No,
of
I'm sure he
structured
hates his nine
routine?
to five.
Yeah,
He'd rather be in the
That
woods.
tie, I bet, is pretty. It's pretty tight on his neck. It's
yeah.
gotta be. It's gotta be really constricting.
It's so tough. The commute's tough. Just being around all these people. Ah,
Yeah. And
Barber is not cheap.
the Sasquatch in captivity.
Yeah.
It's like the unicorn. Can you look up the painting of the unicorn in captivity, real quick?
Unicorn in
I just
captivity.
watched a movie called Death of Unicorn where it like centered on that painting.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Like I just watched it the other night.
That's hilarious. I never heard of that movie. That's awesome. I love this painting. I got it from my my first daughter, second kid.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah. So for those who are listening, this is an old painting of a unicorn in captivity, which is a unicorn in a small circular fence. But I just want people to see it now. Imagine Bigfoot
He doesn't.
inside.
Yep.
I mean, in fairness, he doesn't really look like he hates it,
I mean,
but he also looks like he's been shot a couple of times. Is that like? No, those are like. Are those plants?
might be plants in front. Might be plants in front of him.
He looks like he's been buckshot a couple
I think it's
of
such a cool painting.
times.
Wait, what was the movie name again?
The Death of a Unicorn.
Death of the Unicorn. All right, cool. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. But thank you so much for calling in, man. Appreciate it. And I got these names written down. I'm gonna look into them.
Yeah, bud. I mean, love the show. Watched it for just a little while now. I tune in every now and again when the subject piques my interest, and figured I'd let you guys have a few names on the weirder side of YouTube.
Sick. I appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
You
You
too.
too.